Dear students, today we will learn about the world between the world wars. You all know during the 20th century, that is between 1900 and 2000 years, two world wars were fought. And in this lesson, we will try to understand the reasons, the causes of the world wars and the result of the world wars. Okay. But before that, a famous historian, Eric Hobsbawm, termed the 20th century as the age of extremes. You should know it. Extreme means, can anybody say what is the meaning of extreme? Can anybody say? Yes, please. Can anybody tell me the answer? What do you mean by extreme? Extreme means here opposites. See, in the 20th centuries, so many extreme things have happened. At one end, there is a growing demand for democracy in several countries. Whereas on the other hand, in several countries, feeling of fascist ideology has emerged. Fascist means, no, I am the supreme, my race is supreme compared to your race, compared to your caste, compared to your religion. Similarly, on the one hand, science helped in saving lakhs of crores of people's lives. At the same time, with the help of science, atomic bombs were invented, new missiles were invented. Those missiles, those atomic bombs were responsible for killing of crores of people. During the two world wars that were fought in the 20th century, lakhs of people died. So that is why the 20th century, according to Eric Hobsbawm, is known as the age of extremes. Did you get my point? Yes, dear students, did you understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Now we will come to the First World War. In this lesson, we will learn about the First World War, the causes or the reasons of the First World War, and the result of the First World War, how the First World War took place and why, how it ended. These two we will learn along with the other things associated with the First World War. Okay. At the same time, you should learn another term related to First World War. That is, this World War is also known as trench war. What is trench? Can anybody define trench? Have you seen trenches? Yes, you must have seen several trenches on the road. But I will show you the picture of a soldier who is standing in a trench. Then you can understand what trench means. See, here several soldiers are staying in the trenches. You can see they are taking rest. So here they are standing in a trench and they are fighting with their guns ablaze. So these are trenches. So during the First World War, majority of the war was fought by standing in the trenches. So that is why this war is also known as trench war. Did you understand, my dear students?
Yes, sir.
Okay, right. So trench means, you can see, trench means it is digging up earth up to certain point for protection. See, you can see in the picture here, if anybody throws anything, he can simply sit. He can escape by sitting in the trench. They can take rest. They can take sleep. They can sleep in the trench for some time. So those trenches are going to protect the soldiers who are fighting the battle. I hope you understood now what trench means. So This First World War is also known as a trench war. Okay. Now come to the reasons for the First World War. So before I tell you the reasons for the First World War, I would like to ask you one simple question. You know madness. What is madness? Can you define madness? A person is mad. What does it imply? What do you mean by mad? Yes, can anybody tell? There is a synonymous word for madness. Can anybody mention? The word mad is also known as another word. What is it? That is mania. Mania means madness. So with the help of mania, we will learn the reasons for the First World War. With the help of this word, we will learn the causes of the First World War. Okay. So what are the causes? See. Why I mentioned mania? See, these are the causes. These are the reasons. You can see here. M-A-N-I-A. Mania means madness. Behaving illogically. Madness means without any reason. So you go to a mad person, he will cry, he will shout, he will laugh at anything. He does not know the reason. Without any logical behavior, he will behave. Without any logical reason, he will behave. That is madness. So with the help of madness, that is with the help of mania, we will learn the causes of the First World War. What are the reasons? Yes, did you understand? My dear students, did you understand? Okay. First one is militarism. M stands for militarism here. So during the beginning of the 20th century, countries began a race whereby countries tried to improve their military forces. They are afraid in the future some other country may wage war with them. So in order to protect their country, they began to recruit military personnel in huge number. That is militarism, increasing military forces to prepare for a war. That is what you mean by saying militarism. Did you understand?
Yes, sir.
Very good. Second main reason, second cause is alliances. Alliances means agreements. Alliance. I entered into alliance with another person. So I entered into agreement with another person. That may be for any help or that may be for any assistance. See, suppose in a class you will have friends. See, I am drawing a map of a person, you can see here. See, three persons are there, you can see. So one day this boy, this is A, this is boy B, this is boy C. Let us take for example. C threatened A. Tomorrow I will see your end, I will beat you. C threatened A. A immediately went to B and entered into agreement. What is that agreement? If C fights with me, you should provide support to me. So this is alliance, means agreement between two countries. Several agreements were reached between various countries. So for protection, see here, A entered into agreement with B for protection. If C beats him, if C beats A, B should protect A. Similarly, if any other person beats B, A will protect B. So that is alliance, agreement. So if the main cause of this war is agreements between nations to aid. Aid means to help, to aid and protect one another. Yes, did you understand? Yes, did you understand, my dear students?
Yes, sir.
Okay, next, third reason is nationalism. What is nation? What is the meaning of nation?
Country.
Very good. So we are all proud to be Indians. We have that nationalistic feeling. Similarly, in several countries during the 20th century, this pride in one's nation has developed. My country is superior. Your country is Dedimark country. Your country is immoral. My country is moral. My country has moral values. Your country has no moral values. So this pride in one's country has emerged in the 20th century. So that led to wars. That led to First World War. My country is superior. I am right. Your country is wrong. Chalo, we will fight. So this is third reason, nationalism. And fourth reason is imperialism. Imperialism means, so you all know in which year our country attained independence?
1947, sir.
Very good. In 1947, our country attained independence. Our country got independence in the year 1947. So till then, our country is under the control of which country?
British, sir.
Very good. British government. British government controlled our country. Our country's military forces, our country's economic wealth is under the control of the Britishers. So this is imperialism. Means Britain is controlling the resources of our country. So that is imperialism. See, when one country takes over another country, economically and politically, our economic resources are controlled by Britain. Our political setup is controlled by Britain. So this is imperialism. During the beginning of the 20th century, several countries were controlled by big countries like United Kingdom, like Britain, Great Britain. They controlled several countries. They kept under their control several countries. So that is one of the reasons for the First World War. Did you understand, my dear students?
Yes, sir.
In Mania, we learned M stands for militarism, A stands for alliances, N stands for nationalism, and fourth one we learned just now, imperialism. Means one country controls another country. That situation is known as imperialism. And lastly, assassination. What is assassination? Have you come across this word? What do you mean by assassination? See, when a normal person is killed by another person, you will mention it as just killing, normal killing, that's all. A person is killed by another person, that's all. But when a famous person is killed by another person, you will not term it as killing. You will mention it as assassination. Assassination implies killing of a famous person. If a famous personality died because of certain incident, because of certain killing, that will be termed as assassination. You can see in our history, our Prime Minister, once upon our Prime Minister, Srimati Indira Gandhi was assassinated. Her son Rajiv Gandhi was assassinated. Yes, did you know?
Yes, sir.
Srimati Indira Gandhi was killed by her own security personnel. Rajiv Gandhi was killed by terrorists. Okay, so the immediate reason. So these are the other reasons, but the immediate reason is assassination. Murder of Austrian. See, you have to remember this. Murder of Austrian Archduke Franz Ferdinand. He was assassinated by a Bosnian Serb. Bosnia, Serbia, Austria, these countries' names you have to remember. The major reason, first reason, immediate reason of First World War was the assassination, the murder of Austrian Archduke Franz Ferdinand by a Bosnian Serb. So a person assassinated this person. Austrian, he is crown prince. He is the prince of Austria. He was assassinated by a Bosnian Serb. So that is why, see, I mentioned just now, just during these 5 minutes of the lesson, I mentioned several countries have entered into agreements with other countries for protection. So those countries which were protecting Austria entered into the war. Similarly, those countries which were protecting Serbia, which have alliances with Serbia, they also entered into war. So that is the reason why this First World War was fought. Because of the alliances, because of the military powers that they developed, because of the immediate cause of assassination of Austrian Crown Prince Archduke Franz Ferdinand, war took place. This is the immediate reason. This is the most important reason why this First World War was fought. Yes, did you understand? Mania is responsible for war. Militarism, alliances, nationalism, imperialism, assassination. These are the 5 major reasons of the war, for the First World War. Yes, did you understand, my dear students? Yes, did you understand, or do you have any doubt? Yes, dear students, did you understand, or do you have any doubt?
Understand, sir.
Okay. So this I showed the pictures of First World War. They are standing where? I told just
Trench.
very good. They are standing in the trench. Very good. These are the pictures of the First World War. Okay. Now you can see the Europe, the picture of Europe, the map of Europe during the First World War. So I mentioned, you can see here. See, Austrian Prince, Crown Prince Ferdinand, he was killed by a Serbian national. Okay, that was the main reason for the First World War. Okay, I am repeating, a Bosnian Serb, a person belonging to Serbia who lived in Bosnia, he killed the Austrian prince. So immediately Austria explained to Serbia. Austria asked explanation from Serbia. Why your national killed our prince? What is the reason? You should explain. But Serbia did not give a satisfactory reply to Austria. So Austria immediately started war on Serbia. Okay, this war started on, you have to remember this date, on 28th July. On 28th July of 1914, this war broke down. So Austria started war on Serbia because of a Serbian national who was residing in Bosnia. He killed the Austrian crown prince. So immediately Austria asked explanation from Serbia, but Serbia did not give satisfactory reply to Austria. Then Austria started entering into war with Serbia. That is the reason. Okay. Now I will show the powers. These are, I mentioned now in the reasons I mentioned, these are the friends, alliances I mentioned. These countries are in alliance. Serbia, Russia, France, Romania, Belgium, British Empire, United States, Italy and others, these are all allied countries. These are on the one side because they have agreement. Whereas these countries are on the other side. Germany, Austria, Hungary, Bulgaria, Ottoman Empire. This is in Turkey. So these countries on the one side, these are known as central powers, whereas these are known as allies. So I am mentioning one Serbian national killed Austrian Hungarian crown prince Archduke Ferdinand. He was killed by Serbian national. So Austria asked explanation from Serbia, but Serbia did not give satisfactory reply to Austria. Then Austria started war on Serbia. As Serbia is supported by all these countries, they one after the other they entered into the war. Whereas Austria has friendship, Austria has alliance with Germany, with Bulgaria, with Turkey, that is Ottoman Empire. All these forces joined together. These forces are known as central powers. These forces are known as allies. So allied countries fought with central powers in First World War. So originally at the beginning, central powers had upper hand, but at the end, United States also joined the war. At the end, United States joined. So ultimately, allies have won the war. Allies have defeated central powers. Did you understand? My dear students,
Yes, sir.
you understand? Okay. Now you can see these are, you have to remember one term. These here it is mentioned, you can see. These are Balkan nations. Balkans. These are all located in Europe. Please remember. So I mentioned Mania is responsible for the First World War. Mania means M stands for what? Yes, you have to tell me now. Mania I mentioned. M stands for militarism. A stands for alliance or agreement. N stands for
Nationalism, sir.
very good, nationalism. I stands for, yes, what does the I stand for? Imperialism, I mentioned imperialism. One country controlling other country, that is imperialism. Okay. Then last A stands for what? A stands
Assassination, sir.
for, very good, assassination. Okay, assassination means what does it mean? Assassination?
Great person killed by someone, sir.
Very good. When a great person, when a notable person was killed by another person, you are not going to term it as killing, you are going to mention it as assassination. So during the 20th century, at the beginning of the 20th century, there was fight, tussle in European countries about the control over Balkan nations. These are very poor countries in Europe. These are the poorest countries in Europe. So rest of the Europe countries want to control Balkan nations. There was a fight between various countries in Europe to control the Balkan nations. Okay, this word Balkan is important. See, that is why I mentioned Mania is responsible for First World War. So, but you remember, you add, if you add B also, it would be better. B means Balkan. So already in Europe, there is so much fight as to who should control the Balkans. Who should get an upper hand in the Balkan nations. So that is why you add this B also. You remember this shortcut. Mania, at the end, after A, B comes. So Mania, B stands for Balkans. So there is a fight, there is a tussle between various countries to control the Balkans. Why Balkans only means? Balkans are the poorest countries in the Europe. And if you control Balkan nations, you can control Black Sea and Mediterranean Sea. These seas are very, very important in international trade. So if you control the Balkan nations, you can have an upper hand in the trade. So that is why you add this B also in mania at the end. Mania, after A, B will come. Okay. So these are the reasons for the First World War. This is the picture of the First World War. And now you can see these are allies, Central Powers. Central Powers have won the war. At the beginning they have controlled, but at the end, allies have won the war. Allies have defeated Central Powers. Okay. Now this war ended in 1919 with a famous treaty. Treaty means agreement. That is Versailles Treaty. Versailles is a place in France. You have to remember it. Where is Versailles? Versailles is in France. What is the capital city of France? Yes, can you know? Can you tell me? What is the capital city of France? See, you can see here, France, this is capital city is Paris. So Versailles Pact was signed. Versailles Agreement was signed in 1919. With that, the World War I, First World War was ended. See, Versailles was about 10 kilometers away from Paris. There, various countries' leaders sat and entered into agreement. It led to end of the First World War. So in that pact, in that agreement, several things are there. Several harsh measures were there, especially on Germany. Okay, Germany has to pay for it severely because all other countries have mentioned that Germany is mainly responsible for this First World War. Okay. Similarly, after the First World War was over, League of Nations was formed. So to ensure world peace in 1920, all countries came together. Several countries came together and formed League of Nations. This was before United Nations. You know, after the Second World War, United Nations organization was formed. But after the First World War, League of Nations was formed because it failed to keep world peace, to maintain peace. So that is why United Nations organization was established, was formed after the Second World War. So the First World War ended with the Treaty of Versailles. Germany was made to pay for the